All these guys, they are from the deep world. Uebert Angel, Magaya, Makandiwa, those are the most evil guys. And anyone who would believe to follow Uebert Angel, to follow Makandiwa, and this other clown, what is it called, Passion Java, I think that will be total madness. How are you, Prof?
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Talk to me.
Yes, I'm just trying to think that in this world, whereby you are now in 2024, one could actually go to these prophets and actually knowing that there are no prophets in this world anymore, and they've never been. They've not been there. And I don't know why people don't understand. You see, myself, I went to TB Joshua's church for one reason or the other. But it was not that like I had problems or whatever. But you see, when I was there, these guys, they will pray for you in their church. And at one time, we go and join the prayer line. You know, the man wants to come and touch your head, but he has got these guys behind you. And if you can't fall, they pull your belt and they make you fall, you know, pushing you down to try to show a conviction that, there is power. There was no power, which I realized there. And later on, because I was coming from Southern Africa, and now I realized that, no, why did I come here for? And, it's like we are being kept in a cult, and, you are confined to some place, you can't do nothing. So I went back to my room, which I had paid in, it was called the King Solomon's, whatever, where you stay in your own room like a private hotel. I realized that, no, man, these guys, they are shitting everything here. I started having my cigarettes. Then a crowd, I mean, his guys, bodyguards, they came, oh, there is a guy who is smoking. Then I said, no, okay, fine, let me go out and meet the crowd and see what is happening in Nigeria rather than getting confined into this place. And only what I could see was that this man wanted to silence everybody who was there. You get into a place whereby you are not even allowed to go. You can only go to his bookshop, you can only go to his cafeteria, or you can only go to his place where he makes bread for you. Now we come to Magaya. One other friend convinced me, no, 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 let's go to Magaya. Then I saw with my own eyes that, hey, now we are dealing with a thief in front of my eyes. And I was coming from a foreign country visiting Magaya's church. He was praying for people, and I realized that there was actually a girl whom I had met at the entrance. And later on, that girl, she was just walking all right, but inside church, she was now disabled. And I realized that, but why is this girl now disabled and the prophet is praying for him? Then I saw that, no, 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 no. There is something going on wrong here. Then, but I was staying at one of his places in Harare. Then I decided, okay, the second day we are going there. Then he's supposed to pray for all the visitors. Then I decided, no, man of God, please don't touch my head, because I'd realized that the things which were going on. And when Magaya prays, he's only looking at what is being put by people, the money, and his eyes will be on money. And what was funny about it was that he talked about something, how he grew up with some of his friends, which was just like, I looked at this guy that, you know, is he taking everybody as a fool, or everybody doesn't understand and whatever? He was talking about a guy who used to beat them and whatever in the streets. So he wanted to give relevance that there are some other people who are untouchable. I didn't know whether he wanted to put it that he is untouchable or Jesus is the one untouchable, but he could not put it the way probably he wanted to put it. Then one day I traveled to Dubai. I met this guy. What do you call him? Alpha Likau. I met him at the airport. Then this guy, he wants to draw attention only to be behind him when we're getting into the flight, and sees that nobody. So I asked the guy who was with me that, is this the Alpha cow or whatever? He had some maybe two bodyguards or whatever. Then I said, but why men of God should we be having should we be having bodyguards? Whereas, I mean, if you go to his church, he will give you a bottle of water. And really, what you say, man of God, Prof, is that, what you said about the water which these prophets give people, it actually comes from mortuaries. I listened to one documentary from a guy who has worked in a mortuary, I think, in Zimbabwe, and, how they do business with these prophets, Bo Makandiwa, Bo Magaya, Bo Uebert Angel. They've got serious business with the mortuary people there. And, this water they use for washing people and whatever, that the water they take, go and give us, to protect ourselves, But in actual sense, I think traditionally, for an African person, it's even good to go back to our roots, whereby we believe in our traditions, whereby, if you need help from a nganga, you know that you need help from a nganga. You can get that help. And it's straight and direct forward. You understand? But now, this thing you get from the deep world. Kana these prophets are from the deep world, and they've got snakes. I know of an incident myself. I can privately send you a number for one of my Magaya's guys, whereby his snake got very angry, and they had to bring it to Harare in a vehicle, in a boot. And that guy confidentially told me, because I had met him in another country, but we shared numbers and what and what. But at one point, we had a conversation again. And I had asked him how this whole thing was going on. Why is it so like that? That, you need so much security for a prophet and stuff like that, and the things which are going on. But at one point, we had a conversation, a personal conversation. I have his contacts. He actually told me that at one point, Magaya's snake got very angry, and they had to take it, I think it's from Chitungwiza, and bring it to the church. And he had to address the snake himself. And that day, they closed the service. There was no service because he had to deal with the snake. All these guys, they are from the deep world. Uebert Angel, Magaya, Makandiwa, those are the most evil guys. And anyone who would believe to follow Uebert Angel, to follow Makandiwa, and this other clown, what is it called, Passion Java, I think that will be total madness. But in any way, there is still more to discuss, because I had a one-on-one with some of these prophets, and I've seen the detail and realized that no, 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 no. These guys, otherwise you are getting yourself into the deep sea with them. Thank you, Prophet.
My brother, that was deep, and I hope they are listening. Those who have ears, I hope you heard. Need I add more? Thank you, my brother, for your information.
Yes, yes, Prof. And one of the things you can just simply do is to ask, even if you ask Magaya, who is God and where is God? He cannot explain anything to you about God. Ask Makanti the same question. Ask Uebert the same question. Ask Prophet Chris the same question. They can't explain. They don't even answer. Because that the God which we know ourselves is not the God they know. The God they know is in the deep seas. In Benin, the angels of Benin. That's what they know. That's what they will and they will laugh at you, or they will look at you like you are asking a crazy question. None of them can give you that answer, Prof. Who is God and where is God? They can't answer you. You can call Makandiwa now and ask him.
My brother, just a quick question. Did you
Yes.
follow all these people? What were you seeking exactly?
Look, the first encounter which I had was with TB Joshua. It was actually that I'm a businessman. I've got a successful business. So, talking to my old lady, then she said, no, your business is so progressive. I had gone to TB Joshua, you just have to go and thank, God and what. Then I said, okay, if that will complement or make any difference, okay, I will go there and maybe thank God for what I'm getting. But, it was not about a prophet who would help me. But what I later on encountered that, these guys, where I'm getting to now, I'm getting into a cult. And the TB Joshua, but I was supposed to spend a week there, but I spent, I think, most of my time out in the streets trying to find out what businesses can I do in Nigeria. Because now I later on realized that no, these guys have already paid about 3,000 US dollars to sleep in an executive house. They've taken they've taken my money, and my passport is with them. You are not allowed to go anywhere. Then I decided no, let me go and see what Nigerian people are doing here. Maybe I can find something of interest rather than being kept into, like now I'm in prison. Then I told the guys that no, look, I smoke cigarette, I drink beer. I want to go into the streets. They said no, 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 you can't do that. Then I told them that okay, you can give me my passport. I'm ready to take the next flight, and because there is really nothing which I find I'm doing here. Then they told me that no, you have to wait for the next day because they are these what do you call them? They are prayer guys. What John Chi? Those are the men of God of his to come and pray for you and what and what and what. Then you have to go into the prayer line. When I got into the prayer line, that guy TB Joshua, he prophesied about me in the war in the main church that no, we have got a problem of the seed. But at the same time, my wife was pregnant at home. This guy. My wife was pregnant. Then he tells me that we have got a problem of the seed. But then when I go into the prayer line again, he touches my forehead. I'm not falling. The guy who is behind me, he pulls me by my waist, my belt, so that I fall down. Then I said, but why are you pulling me down? So it was like I was now aggressive. But now TB Joshua himself, he looked at me and said, this guy, what is he trying to challenge me or whatever? Then I decided that, no, here, these guys, they're just bullying us here.
Yeah, you've learned the hard way.
When I went to Magaya. Hey, Magaya is a crook, that guy. When he prays there, when he gets into his church there, I agree people they start to put to throw money. You won't be looking at people who is disabled, who is not disabled. You'll be looking at how much are you throwing there, counting, walking, 2 steps left, 2 steps right, 2 steps left, 2 steps right. Those guys, ah, it's really difficult, for anybody in this modern world that you can believe that, you can be healed by Magaya, you can be healed or whatever. And even now, if you ask anybody, if you go to Zimbabwe there, ask them, the people, if you go into Magaya, he's got a lot of clutches hanged around his church, that people they came who were not working and whatever. All those are lies. That guy is more than fake. Actually, he was a child of TB Joshua. He's a fake more. He's more fake than anything else. It's only that these guys they've what I've seen, which is very painful in any way, is that these guys they've taken advantage of the poorest people. You understand, people, the desperate people. When people are desperate, they look for any for solutions, even where there are no solutions. And they go to people like Magaya where there are no solutions. And they are just taken for a ride. They've got their last dollar. They have to give it to Magaya. Magaya doesn't care whether that person who has given him a dollar is going to have the next meal. They don't even care. Those guys are very ruthless, evil. If Satan was a devil, but these guys are more devilish than the devil itself. Very, very, very evil. You cannot, you can't take, if you go to Magaya's church, man, you should go and see the people who get there. Some of them, they are desperate. They don't have nothing. You can see that this patient is not had a meal, maybe for the past 2 days, but he has got maybe $2. But that $2 will give it to Magaya. And Magaya doesn't care even to give them a meal. That, no, well, you came to my church, you have some food and go back home. He even wants more money.
Yeah, you see, even the devil is learning new things from these men.
Because, you see, it's only that places like Nigeria, Zimbabwe, the prophets have become so politicized. They are supported by by governments. I think if you know about Alpha Likau raising that other guy from the dead, that crazy miracle of his. If he was not giving money to the ANC, he was not going to be in South Africa. It's only that he supports the ruling party. He gets money. A prophet can never be allowed to have a presidential escort. For what? Prof, tell me, a prophet needs a presidential escort for what?
Blue lights for what?
Yeah, he can only do that because he's supporting the politicians. He gets money from the public, the poor people. Then that money is taken to the political parties. He supports them, but there is no government which can support that. You cannot do that in Russia. You cannot do that in Europe. Never. In Europe, it's only the Pope who has got a presidential escort. Only the Roman Catholic Pope, which is also a much more devilish Orthodox. Men of God, we'll have much more conversation about this, but ask your prophets. Any of your prophets, ask them who is God and where is God. None of them will answer that question because they are gods. They are in the in the laws of Benin, like you wrote in your book. That's where their gods are. The real God, which we know, which we pray, the ordinary people, they don't know him. Never. And they will never know him. And they are too far away from knowing him.
Yeah, there's more to learn. Do join us again, my brother, as we explore more details about the shenanigans and all their sinister and devilish ways that they've been using to manipulate our poor and gullible Africans.
Yeah, because these are the guys, if one had power in any country or whatever, these are the guys to take to prison first.
Yeah, and throw away those kids very, very far away.
Yeah, we keep them very far away from the society. They are not supposed to be closer to society.
They're a threat.
Yeah, they are a threat. No, man. They are too evil. Too evil. I think they are worse than World War II and World War One. They are worse than that.
Yeah, but a day is coming, my brother. A day is coming. Things do change.
Yeah, because they are ready to see people die of starvation. They are ready to see people, in any kind of mess, in any kind of desperation. They are ready to see that. So what kind of God are they praying to? which doesn't help. And one surprising thing is that these guys, I don't understand why their God wants money. Are they trying to say to us that their God is poor? But we know that God is a God of prosperity. Does he want money from us? God is not poor. The God we know is not poor. But their God is very poor. He always wants money. Why?
Yeah, so that they can buy the politicians and all these other powerful
But
institutions.
myself, if I have to pray to a God, I don't want to pray to a God who is poor. I want to pray to a God who has got everything. Because if God could give me life, he has got almost everything I need. Why should you ask him? Why should God ask me for money? And God, in any way, he never made money. Man was made by men. He made me, but he never made money. So why should you ask for something? Why should my God be asking for something he didn't make for me?
My brother, we'll engage. We'll engage more in the episodes to come. Thank you for coming. God bless you.
Thank you, Prof.
All
Thank
right.
you so much. Thank you so much, Prof. Have a good, wonderful day and a wonderful night.
Thank you, sir.